Hey YouTube people, sorry, I was fucking sitting there waiting for it to start and it was already on. Um, this is the YouTube Pagan Challenge Week 4 topic, which is very broad. It just says the Will of the Year. So I guess I'm just going to give my thoughts on the Will of the Year. The Will of the Year has come to mean a lot more to me as the years have gone by. At first, the Will of the Year, well, of course, when you're first starting out, everything is so fucking exciting and all that. And it was exciting. And then, kind of as time went on, it almost felt not like a job or a task, but yeah, kind of like that. It didn't feel like ritual, it felt like repetition. It started getting really, really stale for me on the ritual aspect. But as I started getting older, I got a deeper appreciation for the seasons and the turning of the wheel and the rituals that represented that. I started to get more of the lesson that nature teaches about life and death and rebirth and birth and over and over again. Like, I was able to see how every single living thing is connected to that cycle that the Will of the Year represents. And not only that, as time goes on, you make more memories for certain Sabbaths and you incorporate more little traditions. Like, for some reason, I watch Practical Magic every Alstera, which so far I've not been able to fucking do because I can't find a fucking copy of it. Don't get me started. I watch The Mist of Avalon every Beltane. I watch Alice in Wonderland, the Tim Burton one, every Litha. My movie for Lunasha is Coraline. I think it's because I first saw Coraline around that time of year and it just started to remind me of that and whatever. I watched Coraline on Lunasha. Mabon I don't really have a movie for. I, in all these years, have not found a movie for Mabon, but I am confident one day I will. Of course, Samhain, Hocus Pocus, y'all know how I feel about that. I made a whole video. October 1st is actually a holiday on its own. It's called Hocus Pocus Day. On the actual, I'm sorry. For me, Samhain is like the entire month of October. On Samhain, I watch The Nightmare Before Christmas. And on Yule, I watch the Jim Carrey version of, or no, that's not what I watch on Yule. What do I watch on Yule? Just whatever Christmas movie is on that day. With Yule, it's more like I do the whole movie thing that I do for October where I watch a different movie every day. And, yeah, for me, I think of that more like my, I watch A Christmas Carol every year on the 1st of December, and that's really my tradition as far as that goes instead of having one specifically for Yule. So I watch a Christmas movie of some kind, whatever is lined up for that one. But yeah, I got little things like that. After I got my own place and I was able to finally do my Sabbaths the way I always wanted to do them, except for today, I have been able to make not like a great big feast like you make for Easter or Christmas or whatever, but a little meal, and have Dakota here and have, at least feed Tony before he goes off to work and just incorporate the family into it, which was something I'd never been able to do before. I did sometimes. With Grandma, I would just kind of like sneak it in and she didn't know why we were doing it, but it was food, so she was like, cool, whatever. So there's that. Just things that I do now that, I didn't do at 13, which gives me a greater appreciation and a deeper bond with the Sabbats. I don't know, I've also come to understand them better. Imbolc, for some reason, was the one I had the most trouble with in terms of connecting with it. It took me until a few months ago. And it's funny because the little epiphany I had, Annie on Mirth and Reverence had talked about this a long ass time ago, and I watched her video and it didn't connect until I was sitting there writing the scene for Sleeping Beauty. And in this scene, it was Imbolc, and her mother was doing this little personal ritual that she does, where she honors like 5, I think it's 3 or 5 things about herself that without them, she would not be who she is. Because for her, Imbolc is about, honoring yourself. And like I said, Annie had said that a long time ago, and it never sunk in. But in that moment, it sunk in for me that, the goddess has healed from having a child, and now on this one day, she is going to honor herself. So that was the one I had the most trouble with. Lunasha, I have also had kind of a hard time. Not necessarily, like, I connect with it on a certain level, but not on a deep level. I'm still working on that one, but I'm sure it'll happen. But yeah, I've been able, as time has gone by, to connect better with the Sabbats. To begin with, Samhain was really the only one that I connected with deeply because Halloween had always been my favorite holiday. Even as a little kid, I didn't really care much about Christmas, and I didn't care much about Easter, It was all about Halloween for me and fall. So it makes sense that that was the one I first connected with. But as time has gone by, like Beltane was the second one that I really got a deep connection with. The summer solstice I had a connection with in the sense that that was the anniversary of me dedicating myself to the gods for the first time and declaring myself a witch for the first time. I know, I was 11, you chose the summer solstice. Yes, I did. And that day has always been important to me for that reason, but it took longer for it to be important to me on its own. Now I really, really look forward to every Sabbath for different reasons on the Wheel of the Year. And I really respect what the Wheel of the Year stands for. Because, like I said, to me, the Wheel of the Year stands for the connection with all living things, because that wheel represents the life cycle of everything that lives. Everything is born, everything lives, everything dies, everything is reborn, It is what we all have in common, whether we're human or the smallest little ant crawling on the ground. And that's a really powerful thing. So yeah, as I've grown older and had more time with the Wheel of the Year, it has come to mean a great deal to me. I couldn't imagine life without my Sabbats. I really couldn't. I couldn't. And I'm in Ohio, so I am in a position to where my weather, more or less, coincides perfectly with the Sabbats. I couldn't imagine being somewhere where it was hot all the time or cold all the time and I didn't experience that sort of change, which is funny because my dream has always been to live in New Orleans, but that would be really hard for me. I'd love to do it. I'll take that chance if I ever get the opportunity, but it would be really hard for me. I really do think that I would have to have a place up here as well so that I could at least for a couple weeks experience the change of the seasons. And I know that, New Orleans isn't like one temperature the whole, but you get what I'm saying. Here we have, we used to have fall and spring. Now it's pretty much summer, winter, winter, summer, winter, winter, winter. I mean today, or, yesterday, because it's like 4 o'clock in the morning now, on Ostara, it was colder than when I celebrated my Yule ritual 3 months ago. What is that shit, Ohio? What the fuck is that shit? Anyway. Yeah, I couldn't imagine not having the will, the Sabbats, the turning of time, all of it. I couldn't imagine not having it. It's that important to me at this point in my life. So yeah, I'm not, like I said, I heard somebody say something about there was questions attached to this, but on the little picture thing that I have that just lists the topic, it just listed the topic. So if there were questions attached to this and anybody has them, like, post them in the comments and I'll redo this video. Alright, love you guys. Blessed be.